friends, welcome back. Now we are started the lowering of vapor pressure. You know very well how the vapor pressure is lowered due to non-volatile solute. You know what is relative lowering of vapor pressure? It is the ratio of lowering of vapor pressure to the vapor pressure of pure component, that is lowering of vapor pressure to the vapor pressure of pure component. Now we are considering here Raoult's law. Now first, Raoult's law for that solution in which solute and solvent both are volatile. If both are volatile, then according to Raoult's law, the partial pressure, vapor pressure of that component present in a solution is the product of vapor pressure of its pure component and mole fraction. Vapor pressure of its pure component and mole fraction. This is a Raoult's law for vapor pressure of solution which containing both volatile solute as well as solvent. Now how to calculate the total pressure? Total pressure we calculate by using P1 plus P2. What is P1? You know P1 0 into x1 plus P2 0 into x2. Per binary solution, you know x1 plus x2 is equal to 1, therefore x2 is equal to 1 minus x1. Now dear friends, therefore total pressure we calculate by using formula P1 x1 is equal to, you put this value, and finally this is a total pressure for the solution which containing both volatile solute as well as solvent. Now come here, for solution of non-volatile solute, suppose A1 plus A2, A1 is a volatile, A2 is a non-volatile. Then total pressure is a formula, therefore Pt is equal to P2 0 plus P1 0 minus P2 0, value of P2 0 is 0. Why? Because solute is non-volatile. Non-volatile solute doesn't have vapor pressure. Therefore Pt is equal to 0 plus P1 0 minus 0, there finally Pt is equal to P1 0 plus x1. So this is the vapor pressure of for that solution which contain the non-volatile solute. Now dear students, you know very well, suppose for example lowering of vapor pressure, you know delta P is equal to, see toward the board, you know, therefore delta P is equal to, you have formula P1 0 minus P, keep in your mind this all these things, P1 0 minus P. Therefore we say like this, P1 0 minus, you know P means total pressure, P means what? Total pressure, P1 0 minus, this is the formula P1 0 into x1, P1 0 into what? x1, this is a PT, PT means what? Total pressure, okay. P1, value of PT is P1 0 minus x1. Therefore dear students, the same things happen, we write like this way, therefore P1 0, in bracket write down P1 0, that is 1 minus x1, it is okay, P1 0 1 minus x1. Then finally you know very well 1 minus x1 means 1 minus x1 means x2. Therefore delta P is equal to P1 0 into what? x2, P1 0 into x2. This relation also keep in your mind. Whenever solute is non-volatile, then at that time lowering of vapor pressure is the definition product of vapor pressure of pure component and mole fraction of solute. You keep in your mind mole fraction of what? Solute. So my dear friend, these are the very interesting terms we are applying for the Raoult's law. Keep in your mind, this is the Raoult's law for both volatile solute as well as solvent. This is the Raoult's law for solute is non-volatile but solvent is volatile. And then what's happened here? Lowering of vapor pressure, because lowering of vapor pressure term is only applicable if solute is non-volatile. Now we are going toward the next and very interesting part of this topic, that one is called as molar mass of solute and relative lowering of vapor pressure. So see, what is the molar mass of solute and relative lowering of vapor pressure? I will explain you. This is the very interesting concept, because how to calculate the molar mass of solute by using relative lowering of vapor pressure, number of time they ask you the question in examination. So how to solve the question from examination, see to the board. This is called molar mass of solute and relative lowering of vapor pressure. So see here, molar mass of solute, and relative lowering of vapor pressure, and what? Relative lowering of molar mass of solute and relative lowering of what? Vapor pressure. So see, what is the molar mass of solute and relative lowering of vapor pressure? Dear students, see toward the board. Let W2 gram of solute, molar mass M2 dissolve in W1 gram of solvent. Suppose we consider W2 gram of solute, obviously W2 gram of solute dissolved in W1 gram of solvent, W1 gram of solvent, and molar mass of solute is, and molar mass of what? Molar mass of solute is what? Molar mass of solute is M2. Okay, molar mass of solute is M2. So these are the very interesting and important concept related to this phenomenon, molar mass of M2, M2. Hence, number of moles of solvent N1 and number of moles of solute N2 in a solution is given as, hence number of moles of solvent, dear student, number of moles of solvent is N1, obviously number of moles of solvent is N1, and what? And number of moles of solute, and number of moles of solute is what? N2. Number of moles of solute is N2. Therefore, N1 and N2 is given by equation, see toward this. Therefore, my friends, N1 is equal to, you know, W1 by M1. What is the meaning of W1? W1 is the mass of solvent divided by M1 is the mass of solute. And how to calculate the N2? And N2 is equal to W2 by M2. Obviously, W2 is the mass of solute divided by M2 is the molar mass of solvent. Do you know very well the mole fraction of solute X2 is given by, therefore listen very carefully, the mole fraction of solute, that is mole fraction of solute X2, see here, X2 is given by, therefore X2 is equal to N2 upon N1 plus N2. So this is the formula. By using that we consider the X2. So my friends, see toward the board, therefore X2 is equal to what it become? N1 divided by N1 plus N2. You know very well what is the meaning of N2 divided by N1 plus N2, because mole fraction means number of moles of that component to the total number of moles of all the component. Therefore, N2 we calculate by using formula W2 divided by M2 divided by W1 plus M1 plus what? W2 divided by what? M2. W2 divided by M2 divided by W1 divided by M1 plus, these are the way by using we calculate the mole fraction of solute X2 is given by this equation. Now my friends, so combining this equation, that is what we say that, so what happened here? So delta P upon P10 is equal to, so this is the very simple things by considering this phenomenon. What is a relative lowering of vapor pressure? That is delta P upon P10, yes or no? Delta P upon what? P10. Delta P upon P10 is a relative lowering of vapor pressure, we say, or this we also say that delta P means what? P10 minus P divided by what? P10 minus P divided by P10. So this is the formula. By using this we calculate the lowering of what? Vapor pressure. Now what happened here? Lowering of vapor pressure is equal to X2. This is nothing but the X2. Obviously, this is nothing but the X2. We people say. Now combine this equation. What happened after this? Combine this. After combining, the same equation become delta P upon P10. Is it okay? Delta P upon P10 is equal to N2 divided by N1. Why N1? N2 divided by N1, because the W2 by M2 is a number of mole of solute in a solution. Actually, this is a dilute solution. So in dilute solution, the moles of solute we neglected. Then finally, because the value of N2 is very less as compared to N1, that's why the value of N1 is very greater than N1. That's why, see, N1 is very greater than N2. Therefore, N2 we neglected. This value we neglected. Therefore, delta P upon P10 is equal to N2 divided by N1, and the same become, what is the meaning of N2? W2 by M2 divided by what? W1 by what? W1 by M1. The same equation we rearrange like this way. Therefore, same equation we rearrange. Therefore, delta P upon P10 is equal to W2 into M1 divided by, obviously W2 into M1 divided by M2 into what? M2 into W1, or the equation we write like this way. What is meaning of delta P? Delta P means P10 minus P divided by P10 is equal to, what is equal to? Is equal to W2 into M1 divided by M2 into W1. So this is the formula. By using this we can successfully calculate the relative lowering of vapor pressure. I hope so. this is a way, by using this we calculate the molar mass of that solute. How to calculate M2? We put this value here and then this becomes here. So this is the very simple way. By using this we calculate the molar mass of that particular solute. I hope you don't have any problem related with this phenomenon. This is a very simple thing. So dear student, so this is the very important things, molar mass of solute and relative lowering of vapor pressure. Listen, so W2 gram of solute dissolved in W1 gram of solvent, and molar mass of solute is what? M2. Molar mass of solute is what? M2. Okay. Number of moles of solvent N1 and number of moles of solute N2 is given by equation. N1 is equal to W1 by M1. Obviously, the weight of solute divided by molar mass of solute, you know, and N2 is equal to W2 by M2, again weight of solute divided by molar mass of solute. You know very well the mole fraction X2 is given by equation X2 is equal to N2 by N1 plus N2. In previous equation we are discussed X2 is equal to N2 by N1 plus N2, or this is the weight, or delta P upon P10 is equal to P10 minus P is equal to X2, because in previous video already we are discussed delta P upon P10 is equal to X2. So how this equation how will be appear, I will explain you how this equation will be appear, P10 by P1 is equal to X2. You know very well, P10 minus P upon P10, listen, delta P is equal to what? Delta P is equal to P10 minus P upon P10, correct? Then the same equation we write in this way, delta P is equal to delta P by P10 is equal to, delta P means P10 minus P by P10. The same we write in way, P10 into X2, obviously P10 into X2 divided by P10 into X2 divided by what? P1, and finally is equal to what it become? Is equal to X2. So what it become? X2 is equal to delta P upon P10, therefore X2 is equal to delta P upon P10. But put this value of X2 in this equation, therefore delta P upon P10 is equal to N2 by N1 means this. So delta P upon P10, like you rearrange this equation. So this is called as the relation between Raoult's law and lowering of vapor pressure. So as per my idea, you don't have very important, and the same equation we write like this way, the lowering of vapor pressure is equal to X2. What is the meaning of X2? If you have this phenomenon, lowering of vapor pressure is equal to X2, and what is X2? X2 is W2 into M1 divided by M2 into W1. So by using this equation we successfully calculate the molecular mass of solute, because M2 is equal to, we put this here, then automatically it gives the molar mass of solute. The same equation become, what it become? M2 is equal to W2 into M1 into P10 divided by what? Divided by P10 minus P into what? P10 minus P into W1. So this is the way, by using this we successfully calculate the molar mass of the solute. I hope you don't have any problem related with this phenomenon, how to calculate the molar mass of solute. The problem based on this, I will give you some problem. Write down all these things in your notebook, write down. Okay, or the same equation I will write by another way. Okay, don't worry, I will explain by another way also. You write down another way also in your notebook. See, the same equation we write like this way also. What is the relation between this? You write down or. According to this, the relative lowering of vapor pressure is equal to mole fraction of solute, is equal to X2. Therefore what it become? Therefore P10 minus P upon P10, because this is a relative lowering of vapor pressure, P10 minus P10 is equal to what? X2. Means what? P10 minus P upon P10 is equal to, what is X2? Is equal to N2 divided by N1 plus N2. So same equation, N2 divided by N1 plus N2 means what? W2 by M2 divided by W1 by M1 plus what? W2 by M2. But W2 by M2 value we neglected, because this is a very dilute solution, this we neglected. The same equation become P10 minus P divided by P10 is equal to, what it become? W2 by M2 divided by divided by W1 by M1. You rearrange this equation. P10 minus P divided by P10 is equal to W2 into M1 divided by W2 into M1 divided by M2 into W2. So this is the way. By using this relation we successfully calculate the relative lowering of vapor pressure and molar mass of that solute. So M2 is equal to, you put the same equation. Now we are moving toward some problem related with this topic. Now dear friends, so how to calculate how we use this equation for calculation of problem. This is the very simple things, this is the very simple terms how to use this equation. The first problem, the vapor pressure of solution containing 13 into 10 raised to minus 3 kilogram of solute. See here, the vapor pressure of solution containing, write down in your notebook, the vapor pressure of solution containing how much solute they are given, 13 into 10 raised to minus 3 kilogram of solute. They are given in kilogram of solute. In 0.1 kilogram of water, in 0.1 kilogram of water, they are given the weight of solvent in also kilogram of water. At 298 Kelvin, they are given the vapor pressure 27.371 mm. 27.371 mm. This is a vapor pressure 27 mm of mercury, mm of mercury. Calculate, they are given, calculate the molar mass of solute. Calculate the molar mass of solute. You know very well molar mass of solute. The vapor pressure of water at 298 Kelvin. The vapor pressure of water at 298 Kelvin is, they are given the vapor pressure of water 28.065 mm of mercury is 28.065 mm of mercury. So dear friends, how to calculate? These are the very interesting and very important phenomenon. The vapor pressure of solution containing 13 into 10 raised to minus 3 kilogram of solute in 0.1 kilogram of solvent water at 298 Kelvin is 27.371 mm of mercury. Calculate the molar mass of solute. The vapor pressure of water at 298 Kelvin is 28.065 mm of Hg. 28.065 mm of Hg. So dear friends, how to calculate? Listen. Vapor pressure of solution containing, they are given to you W2, they are given W2 is equal to 13 into 10 raised to minus 3 kilogram. They are given W1, that is W1 is equal to 0.1 kilogram of water at vapor pressure of water at 298 Kelvin, solute in 0.1 kilo. The vapor pressure of solution, this is the vapor pressure of solution. So what is vapor pressure of solution? Therefore P is equal to 27.371 mm. Calculate the molar mass of solute. They are asking you for calculation of M2 and the vapor pressure of water. Water is the solvent. They are given the vapor pressure of solvent, that is P10 is equal to 28.065. So this is the given data. They are given in your problem. Now dear friends, what is the formula of this is? Therefore P10 minus P upon P10 is equal to W2 into M1 divided by M2 into W1. Yes or no? W2 into M1 divided by M2 into W1. And finally, what is the value of M1? What is the value of M1? The value of M1 is equal to 18 because water is the solvent. And atomic mass of hydrogen and oxygen you know very well, therefore it is 18. So my friends, so how we become this? Now listen very carefully. Now we calculate the molar mass of solute. We rearrange this formula. Therefore M2 is equal to W2 into M1 into P10 divided by P10 minus P into what? W1. P10 minus P into W1. Obviously this is the equation. After this rearrange, put the value of all these given data. M2 is equal to, value of W2 is 13 into 10 raised to minus 3, then finally into what is M1? M1 is 18 into 10 raised to minus 3. If we taken 18 into 10 raised to minus 3, because this become the kilogram, into what is the value of P10? The value of P10 is 28.065. This is the vapor pressure of pure solvent, that one is 28.065. Now friends, divided by what it become, divided by P1 minus P10. Value of P10 is 28.065 minus value of P1. What is the value of P? Value of P is 27.371. This is P10 minus P into W1. W1 means weight of solvent. They are given the weight of solvent, that is 0.1. 0.1. The same equation become, therefore M2 is equal to 13 into 10 raised to minus 3 means what? 0.0013. No, 0.013 into, obviously 0.013 into 18 into 10 raised to minus 3 into 28.065 divided by 28.065 divided by 0.694. The value of this become the 0.694 into 0.1. So you calculate this by using the simple relation, then finally the value of M2 become 94.63 into 10 raised to minus 3 kilogram. So this is the very simple way. By using this we calculate the molar mass of that particular solute. I hope that you don't have any problem in the calculation of molar mass. So what is the second problem and what is the third problem, you see very systematically, because all these things are very simple while calculating the molar mass of that solute, and you calculate very systematically, because calculation of molar mass of solute become very much simple to you. I hope this is a very simple phenomenon, you do very seriously. The second problem they are given in the book, they are the vapor pressure of pure benzene, and so these are the very simple problem related to this phenomenon or related to this concept. I hope you enjoy this problem, and remaining part of this topic we will discussing in the next video. Thank you very much.